أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي لا يبلغ مدحته القائلون ولا يحصي نعماءه العادون ولا يعدي حقه المجتهدون الصلاة والسلام على الرسول المسدد والمصطفى الأمجد أبي القاسم محمد صلى الله عليه وآله محمد وبآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. قال الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم وهو أصدق القائلين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم كتب يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. In the first 2-3 days of the month of Ramadan, it is recommended that we know the masail of fasting and how we can spiritually cleanse ourselves during this month of Ramadan. Spiritual cleaning the soul, cleaning of the soul. Now, as we know, the basic masails everyone knows: no food, no drink, no smoke, etc., etc., etc. This is the basic masail of that nothing goes down the gullet. Even when we use our toothbrush or water at the time in the morning, we just have to make sure that the toothbrush that goes into the mouth is not wet. It has to be dry. So that's the basic masail as far as personal cleaning is concerned, hygiene is concerned, that the toothbrush that goes into the mouth will be dry. If you put a toothpaste, if you use the toothpaste, is not objectionable. But sometimes we have the habit of wetting the toothbrush and then putting in the mouth. It is makruh, means not recommended. So the toothbrush must go into the mouth with the toothpaste or whatever in it, as far as it is dry. Then there is no issue. And deep gargling is also not recommended because there is that fear that some drops of water may trickle down into the throat. So deep gargling should be avoided as well. Now, among the other things that allow some people to be exempt, now this is very important. Some people to be exempted from fasting are the ladies who will not fast during their monthly periods. And the pregnant mothers, they will also not fast because of the expectancy, and the nursing mothers. If a lady is nursing a child, she will not fast because they are nursing the children. Breastfeeding, that means breastfeeding them. They do not fast because they themselves might be harmed, or the child they are feeding or whom they are caring might be harmed, and possibility not enough milk may be produced. In these cases, the ladies have got to give qadha after the month of Ramadan. It's a qadha. When the Ramadan is over and when they have already delivered and period of nursing is over, when they are having normal food, then they must pay qadha after the month of Ramadan at their own convenience in payment of the left out saum, rosas. But in case of elderly people, of course, very elderly people, of course there is no qadha because they simply cannot fast. Very weak elderly people will not fast. And in such cases, illnesses which have no cure, for example, thirst. People are suffering from thirst. There is an illness where people cannot stay without water. Permanent thirst that lingers around in the body. Then this is an illness which simply disallows that a person will not fast because of that particular illness, like a person has got asthmatic condition where he has to take inhalers all the time, will not fast. A person with diabetes, these type of illnesses, they will not fast. But according to most of the Maraji, I'm not talking about any particular Maraji, I have taken out the masails which are common to all the Marajia. And they say that qadha in these cases, those who are suffering from these type of illnesses, in the very first year, it means if, for example, a person has got to give qadha for any reason, the saum has been left out, then in the first 12 months, before the next Ramadan comes, it must be paid back. The qadha has to be paid back. That means if there is a qadha of last Ramadan, has to be paid back for any reason. I became sick and I was unable to fast today, for example. So this qadha has to be paid back soon as before the next Ramadan enters. And it is imperative that we pay up the qadha before the next Ramadan comes. And if we miss that, then of course there is a qadha, but ihtiyat is that we have missed out on that particular time. And in this case, it is precautionary to give a kafara also. Kafara is not that kafara of leaving the fast purposely, on purpose, no. The kafara, in case it's a fidya, it's like to help the poor. The fidya has to be given out, I think it's about $5 in Canada for each fast that we missed beyond the time of 12 months, for every roza that has been missed. Another thing is that we have to train our children. Now this is very important. We have to train our children. It's our duty to see that our children are trained and taught to fast as early as possible. Of course, nabaligh children we do not have to impose the fasting on them. But they are encouraged, like children, girls from 5 or 6 onwards, and boys from age 7 onwards, 8 onwards, have to be encouraged to fast. As much as possible, they have to be encouraged to fast. Another thing which is very important and which is, I think, not very widely spoken about is that whoever, now this is very important, my brothers and sisters, does not fast without any reason. A person who does not fast without any reason in the month of Ramadan is a criminal. Gunah kabira. Whoever does not fast without any reason, gunah kabira is imposed on him, and not fasting is not an ordinary sin as we take it to be. There is nothing light about month of Ramadan. Not fasting is not an ordinary sin as people might think that it is just gunah saghira, a minor sin. No, it is not an ordinary sin, my brothers and sisters. It is gunah kabira, living out Ramadan, fasting without any reason. In Arabic they call it muta'ammidan. Muta'ammidan means purposely. I had no reason. Mera mood nahi ho raha hai aaj. I don't feel like. So I will not fast. My friends are not fasting tomorrow. So I will not fast. For this there is a penalty to be paid. And this is gunah kabira. Without a good and justifiable pretext, you are sick or you are ill or anything, there is an excuse there, but there is qadha after that. Simply because, now see, this goes on everywhere. Simply because there is an examination, I have a test tomorrow, or simply because that I have a job interview tomorrow, you have to fast. Because I have an examination, the parents say, okay, mando nahi, saware na rakhi roja. No, it's not going to, it's not acceptable. It is totally unacceptable. You cannot skip roza under any circumstance, whether come rain or shine, as I say. And it cannot be left out. And if anyone does it purposely, leaves out any roza, any psalm in any stage in life, say, Allah gave me tawfiq. Later on in my early life, I never kept a fast when I was young, maybe. The qadha is there, it is carry on, it is on our heads, it carries on during our lifetime, it goes right up to our graves. It's not, fasting is not a joke. Fasting is not a joke, my brothers and sisters. Qadha must be given before one dies, because if he dies, or a person dies with the qadha still unpaid, that liability is remaining on that marhum at any cost. It is for this reason that the children who are inheriting the estate of their parents must also think of the qadha of their marhum parents that have been left out. They should consider this, which has been left out unpaid by their parents. Especially the eldest son has to be aware. He has to be very much aware of what my father or my parents have left out that qadha. If he cannot do it, then he can pay to get it passed. Like in India, Pakistan, Iran, people, they fast and they take money, they take payment for it. But whoever does not fast purposely in the month of Ramadan is not exempted only by paying qadha. Now the penalty for not fasting muta'ammidan is, in the month of Ramadan, is the kafara is, there are 3 kafaras, either one of them, whatever is suitable for a person. There are 3 kafaras. One is for every roza that I have purposely left out, there are 60 fasts to be given back. For every roza that without any reason that I left out, there will be 60 fasts in lieu of every fast that I have left out. And that 60 roza, that 60 saum will be 30 consecutively for a month. And after that, you can alternate as 30 days, you can alternate as you like at your convenience, at intervals. But first, 30 rozas must be kept one after the other in lieu of each roza that we have left out in the month of Ramadan. Second is to feed 60 poor mu'min per roza. So 60 poor mu'min. Or third one is to free a slave, which is not possible now. And all the Maraji have said that if we cannot give any one of these kafara, then it is only istighfar for this person. He has to be very humble to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He may forgive him, but that person goes with that liability, my brothers and sisters. So to leave a fast without any reason in the month of Ramadan is not a joke, as people normally take it up, that there is nothing and that nothing can go wrong about it. If one does not fast, muta'ammidan, then there is a penalty to be paid, and it's gunah kabira. Now for those, I'll just briefly mention those who are traveling constantly. A constant traveler means like a captain who flies aircraft, first officer, flight attendant. They are constantly traveling. They are airline crew or seamen, ship crew. Bus drivers, for example, bus conductors, truck drivers who are always traveling. All these people will fast. It is their vocation. It is not traveling. During traveling, fasting is prohibited. But these are the vocation. There are certain vocations which is incumbent upon us to fast. But people who do not have a traveling vocation or who are not constant travelers, then they will not fast if they travel. In order not to put people into confusion and complication, I would say that, for example, if there is a salesman or a management team that goes from station to station. So these type of people who go station to station, if they commence their travel morning time, after Zohar, there is a different mas'ala. Morning time, they will not fast, of course. And they will keep a record of how many fasts they missed out. So before the next Ramadan enters, they will pay back the qadha of the fast, my brothers and sisters. And secondly, there are two different situations here. There is a person or someone who is traveling to avoid fast. He does not want to fast. You see, now people are clever. People are very clever. He wants to travel or she wants to travel because I do not want to fast. And I've got friends of mine who do this. They want to avoid fasting, so they travel. So avoid fast. And I do not, that person does not fast. Now a person who travels for avoiding the fast is not committing a sin. Let's be clear about that. Let's understand that. But that fast is makruh. It is makruh to travel like that. It is precautionary not to do that. And the Maraji have written that it is ahwat, precautionary, to avoid such travel which is only for avoiding the fast. But it does not commit any sin and it is not gunah kabira. Second one, a person, for example, 19 hours saum, 20 hours saum here, and a person wants to go away to his home, for example, India, Pakistan, East Africa, and he will fast there, that is allowed. Ayatollah Sistani also allows that. There is no problem in that, because a person, he is going to fast there, makes a niyyah, is going to stay there more than 10 days, or he is going to go there for the whole month of Ramadan. That travel is, of course, allowed. And remember one thing, my brothers and sisters, before I conclude. The month of Ramadan is not only for such technical masail. We have to do these masails in the first 2-3 nights so that people are aware. Sometimes we forget. The first day of Ramadan, people tend to forget that they are fasting and put food in their mouth. They are exempted. If it is done unknowingly, they are exempted. So, but these type of masails we do not come into play. These type of masails, they don't come into play too much. But it's better to be aware of this. Most of us do not even come across these masails because sometimes we do not need them. How many times are we going to travel? But there is one thing which I must say, that we must not take not fasting, or rather avoiding the fast, very lightly. Not to fast, don't take it very lightly. This is something that is all the Marajas they agree upon, and they have books and books have been written on this as far as the laws of fasting are concerned, that if my son, this is very hard, if my son is not fasting, he is baligh and he is not fasting, it is my duty to see that he is told once, and then he is told twice, and he is told thrice. This is what the law of Islam says. And if it is within my reach, and if after telling him 3 times, and he still does not want to fast, he still does not want to comply with the obligatory or wajibat, then it is if it is within my reach to assert pressure on him so that he fasts. It is my duty to assert pressure on him to see that he fasts. And if this pressure does not work, for example, in a country like this or Western countries where they've got strict child abuse laws, that son, for example, can just pick up a phone, simply call a welfare officer and say that my father is torturing me, then it is wajib for me to disassociate myself from this child. This is how important month of Ramadan is, my brothers and sisters. I'm sure you've heard this before, but I am reiterating so that this is refreshed. I have to my own son, by telling him that I do not agree with you and I don't want to have any relations with you because you are not fasting. Because fasting in month of Ramadan is not a joke. Let's put it down that way. Now, this is the sort of severity which is required, that we might be serious about it. And it's not that because, 2 friends are fasting and 2 friends are not fasting. In Gujarati there is a very good saying, "Aao bhai harkha, apre be sarkha." The 2 friends are fasting, 2 friends are not fasting. And this association between these 2 friends are promulgated, and people think that it is just a social custom that we fast. And two friends do not even encourage those who are not fasting. Not in Islam, not according to the laws of Sharia. This is not, let me put it down, as we say in Urdu, patthar ki lakir. This is not a custom. Fasting is not a tradition, my brothers and sisters. It is a religious obligation. This is obligatory. Kutiba alaykumus siyam. Every time that we have some issue, we say, Quran mein kahan likha hai? Every time there is some issue, we say, where is it written in Quran? Well, I'm quoting Quran now, because this is how serious fasting is. The Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyam kama kutiba alal ladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. That, O believers, you will fast. Fasting has been made obligatory. Kutiba alaykumus siyam. Obligatory upon you, the way it was made obligatory on people before you. So it is not a religious custom, it is a religious obligation, my brothers and sisters, which must be observed. And when you find that even in the community, this is Amr bil Ma'ruf, when we find in our family, in our relatives, blood relation, people who do not within your own reach, you must disassociate yourself from them. If after telling them several times to fast and they do not, this is known as tabarra, to disassociate myself from that person who is not fasting muta'ammidan. Muta'ammidan means purposely, without any reason and without any justifiable cause. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम इन्नल्लाहा व मलाइकतहु यसल्लूना अलल नबी या अय्युहल्लज़ीना आमनू सल्लु अलैहि वसल्लिमू तस्लीमा।